Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Suraj Singh speaking for Bharat India on this February 5th, 2022, Saturday, 3:55 morning AM. मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ। आप आज दिनांक फरवरी 5, 2022 शनिवार सुबह के 3:55 and back to you with titles on quality and coordination. Safety title is Quality Works, Coordination, Engineering, Communications, Concrete Material, Civil Field Engineering, Engineering Contracts, Safety Designs, Construction Methods, Arbitration Organization, and Why Quality Plus Works. Well, many talks have been conducted in past and being conducted again with of course certain variations, certain changes on titles. Constructed what was behind that, maybe physically by viewing using your eyes, but in-depth study you have not done and nobody does it except those who are in profession. It's used by everyone. It's not product like vegetables and other items that can be consumed by everyone, cooked by everyone. This is building, this structure all over the world. These are constructed, and particularly by RCC, these are constructed. Concrete material is used in structures, and therefore we have to be a little different in understanding what is concrete, how it's done, and of course you can say we have to talk of coordination engineering. Coordination engineering, so engineering deals with many other engineering products or designs. Coordination engineering we call it. Very important part of whole engineering. It applies to every branch of engineering. Coordination engineering, particularly prime branches, these are civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, architectural engineering. These cannot move without coordination engineering, or you can say coordination engineering is a kind of route to successfully work on these prime engineering. I'm considering prime engineering because without this civil electromechanical, we cannot physically move anything as far as structures are concerned, and that's why I'm talking of quality and coordination as well. Combination of quality and coordination, and that I removed coordination not physically but by explanation for purpose of elaboration. I have started this coordination system file here, and both are actually combined together. These two files, and I'm putting them together here for purpose of display, and we'll discuss them. You can consider both files are same just to find quick access to that. I have bifurcated them like this, and this is your fellow certificate, fellow member, fellow engineer certificate from Institution of Engineers after being a corporate member of institution. And this is, you can say, chartered engineer certificate, which is mentioned. This chartered engineer is he provided, this title is mentioned, this is included, this is permanent provision on Royal Charter of Institution of Engineers India that was granted to it by King George V in 1935, and I am attached to that institution as corporate member of Civil Engineering Division and Chartered Engineer India. Title comes from there, which is constitutional status or statutory status, whatever you can call it, because it's a part of charter, which is a Charter Act, or you can say statutory provision according to Constitution of India, and has been under protection per Article 372 of Constitution of this country. And here is my renewed certificate of International Professional Engineer India. Renewal is valid up to 2025 September 30. Professional engineer and interest professions are never permanent positions, permanent authorities, permanent functionary. If they are permanent only for 5 years, so life of one certificate, you may say, extends to 5 years and then to further 5 years like that. So it is, you can say, standard procedure of the certification, which indicates that person does not sleep, person does not become stagnant in life, person has to learn at least, you can say 50% in life out of 100%, if not 100%. And this 50% means in this procedure in our country, Bharat, India, according to International Professional Engineers Agreement, it examines a person based on CPD, that's called Continuous Professional Development. 500 marks are subject oriented. Out of 500, we have to achieve at least 250 marks for getting renewal of this certificate, as well as for proposal or for application of this certificate. And then examinations are conducted in first case in first application, 2 examinations online, that is objective type, part 1 and part 2. First you have to pass part 1, then you have to pass part 2, and then you have to appear in online conference or video conferencing. After getting through all this, case is recommended to certain board of International Professional Engineer, Board of Professional Engineer, and that's where Professional Engineer title stands for 5 years. And there's another one, that's Professional Engineer title, that's based on CPD, which is Continuous Professional Development. Previously examination also conducted, but Institution of Engineers India now conducts only scrutiny on application, that includes a continuous professional development. And you may say that then this is your case here, my name and my email, as I do every day, suraj_engineer@yahoo.co.uk. You can send something to me if you want to question something. And now I'm closing this certification, so there's no, and this certification also. So I have your file, there's quality and coordination file, and there is coordination file. And now this is another school. I'm talking of a building which I worked on this in 1986, 87, and I nearly completed structure of this and started finishing items. Finishing items do not cause that problem, except they have to be vigilant on the quality goes on. But structures, very important one. Structures, you can see the RCC building, though you cannot see from this finished one, but RCC exists there everywhere. It's very, very important one. And we cannot say it's not like that, but it is. Means we have to be very logical in this. Quality of RCC must be achieved. It's not easy. It's not that easy. I think it is. Quality is very important part of life, and particularly in construction engineering, in production engineering, in manufacturing process, or you can say in chemical processes all over the world which are conducted. RCC, as I say in title box here, concrete, and concrete means RCC, concrete plus reinforcing steel, which we call steel bars, or in Hindi we call saria, or we call in Arabic hadid, or hadid, concrete, hadid means steel, khashyap means timber, like that we call that. So this is only for information I'm giving this name. These projects are very important for everybody. It's only representative product I'm just showing to. There are so many projects like this, so many sites like this we deal with, and it's really very, very important part from our viewpoint. We discuss, and we cannot just throw it. We can say it's something we have to be very serious about, because without quality you cannot say that something exists. It's very, very important matter that we should be serious about. Otherwise, what happens. We stand nowhere if we don't have quality with us. And quality is really very, very important point from every you can say. And I can show you certain photos here. Those are photos we cannot show directly to you, but I can say that I can take print out and show to you that's possible. That's what I'm going to do. This is a plant facility, ethylene plant. I'm going to show you in this position. You can say you might have seen such projects while traveling through train or time through flight, but That's different way, but I'm just trying to project what is that, how is that. The points are very important, really cannot be, you cannot simply say that it works like that or like this, but here it has to work. That's, it has to work, and we have to be very, very careful about that, how does it work, and we have to see. Actually, I don't know why printout is not coming in. It should be coming. Uh, Maybe I think it has come somewhere. So printout has come. You can see that printout here. You might have seen this now, and it's there. You must be. This is a this is a facility ethylene plant. Uh, Typical. I don't tell where it is. I got this from my records. This is very, chemical, very important chemical plant somewhere, and it shows purpose of display of this is that this is multi branches engineering involvement based project, based plant, based operational scheme. This is actually ethylene cracking plant. You can say a subsidy or sub level of certain refinery. And there are so many plants like this on industrial areas of chemicals or petrochemicals. It's not just, you can say, lighting alone, you can see. It's not just lighting, there's so much involved in such plants. In this plant, you can say civil engineering, foundation engineering, construction engineering, architectural engineering, buildings engineering, or you can say structural steel involvement, and also we can say whatever else, chemical processing, trains, utilities, so much, so surveillance, or you can say SCADA related security, because this is all very important projects where it can cause destruction also if something happens haphazardly. So such projects are cost wise very important, material wise very important, economy wise very important, and you can say technology wise also very important. Such projects exist everywhere in every country all over the world, depending on process. What is ultimately we have to achieve by talking of quality? Just think on, suppose quality is not produced, quality is not included in works. When something happens haphazardly, what shall we do? It can explode, it can burn, or it can cause major accidents if quality is bad. It's not I'm talking of construction quality. Construction applies to every whole project here. It's not construction alone, it's also everything, how to do it, how it should work, whole processing life from this project, you can say processing, or you can say operational part of that for long duration. If suppose project is constructed in 5 years, let us assume including designs, procurement and construction, if it is complete in 5 years, certainly it shall work for 30 to 50 years. 30 years is considered prime life or main life, and it can continue if it is suitable, its work, after doing retrofitting or doing renovation of that. We can increase capacity production also, and say from 30 to 50 years. This works based on technology, then after maybe technology changes. So even for say for 30 years, after consuming 5 years for designs and construction, this means 1:6 scale is prime, is original one. That scale can be increased to 1:8, 1:10, and particularly for petrochemical projects, the scale. But if you consider it for some other purpose, for example, we take it non-chemical process here. This is ordinary life building where people stay, people use. Such structures can work up to say 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 100 years, depending on the strength of concrete as well as durability of structure. Durability of structure means how long concrete can work, how long RCC can work, and if there is PSC, how long can it work? As long as it works, because it depends on chemical environment, it depends on surrounding environment, it depends on chloride penetration, sulfate effects, and likewise so many chemicals are involved, soil quality, environment controls, and action of chemicals through environment onto that structure, how moisture can penetrate into structure, how can it erode steel reinforcement surface, how can it erode concrete itself, how wind helps, how soil helps, and what level of protection we provide to that. All parts, as I discussed, are involved, are included in exploration of durability, and that's the reason I'm just trying to. For example, there is another one I can say. This also same project, but it has different. I am showing the plan of this because that's also very important part. For example, plan of this I try to show here is you can say I'm just trying to print it out for your purpose so you can see what I'm talking about. And this is here, you can say kind of reflection, the kind of reflection of same plant. You can see that here, it's a kind of reflection here of that plant, though you cannot see what it was looking during lighting. Now it's in completely form, and I have taken this picture from Google, so you can see Google is written here. It was long back I taken, or maybe some changes, but it's very plain. Actually, I was there on this project, and this is administration area. You can say this building is administration area. That's what telling here. This is your warehousing here, and this is your amenities area here. You can say it's a fire tender area here, and of course you can say here you see here from here the pump house etc. are here. See, you see pumping units are from here, and this is a surrounding road of that area. Here is some I see warehousing, and this is another site here. If you go here, this is outfall chamber. And so this portion is in fact non-processing portion, you can say administration portion, warehousing portion, amenities portion, fire protection portion, where you can say, and here out as like a final discharge out of water. That water is used for this whole project and after complete use, and when there's no requirement of that polluted water or chemically polluted water, it has to be disposed of to sea. And then we can say here this portion is processing plant area type. Here you can see this is completely chemical area. We call you can say what is a processing, chemical processing plant, and this is particularly here for this project. You can see this one, so many compressors, so many equipments like wash water, like you can say boilers, and all tanks, fuel tanks, and others, electrical substations. So much is involved there in forms of steel structural superstructure and RCC foundations. Very much congested area, you can see here. If you can blow up, you see that how much is that. It's very congested area. This all here. Very many steel buildings, sheets, and RCC substation buildings, RCC foundation, depth, you can say massive block foundations or isolated foundations, and different types of structures here. You can say lot of concrete is consumed, and thousands of tons of structural steels are consumed, and all this concrete and structural steel are included must be protected from action of fire, and that's really very important part. We can say we cannot go without that, but that is to be, it has to be done like that. Otherwise, we can say no, it doesn't work successfully. And this is also support area. You can say here, you can say sorry, this one support area. Here you may say that this is seawater. You can say here is a seawater basin. There's entry of this. You can see here's entry, water enters here. It's then supplied to plant, processing plant. This means this water is supplied from this tank to all this area for purpose of cooling of equipment, cooling of machines, and recirculating again to seawater and then recool. And after that, if when this gets polluted, it is taken to sea. And there's so many other structures involved in this. And you can say wider area. You can see this whole layout is not simply for this plant. There are many in this area, or in this area, it's a flare tower. You can see so many pipe racks are involved in this. And this, for example, this is an electrical substation. So many like this everywhere here. In this too, here this, for example, here is, and here is, and here is, and there's a tanks and other tanks, and likewise smaller tanks. Flare tower, here is flare tower. You can see here is flare tower. Here, these are all pipe racks going around. You can find much from this. I'm just trying to reflect to you what projects are, what I'm talking about. And here is a lagoon. You can see water collection for different purposes from here. You can it's kind of you can say intermediates help for water. And this is just a reflection of this is another plant like this. There's so many plants available in that area. Actually, this sketch is very old. This photo is very old. In fact, maybe now it is about 20 years. That period, and it's really interesting that was. And also this is much more older than that. If you see this project here, this is much older than that. This I still remember. I joined this. I took over this site actually on behalf of a certain construction company, and there's Alathia Contracting Company in Doha, Qatar. You can see that one is Doha, Qatar. Amsalal, and this was on Al Khor Road. I was there. Contractors agent. This about the time I was very young. You can say 1986. 1986 I was just 20. I can say I was born 2055 and it is 6. You can say around. You can say around 30 years, maybe. I worked on this project for production of about to 6,000 cubic meter of concrete, including structural and non-structural concrete. And I was in learning stage. You can say I had not much experience, but it's a learning stage for good. Europe, from England, from Far East, likewise from Arabs. You can say multi-level experience I could earn from there, and that's beauty of life. I'll show you more projects later on, because in one talk everything cannot be shown, and I'll try to close. Now I'm just trying to say what's the reason I'm trying to show you. I consider this a simple one in the sense that means RCC in those days were not very advanced. It was you can say based on working stress method designs, and construction was also very good. We used mobile pumps, we used transient mixers, we used tower crane, and likewise we had every facility at that time in 1985, 86. I worked in Iraq also in 1981-82. And those facilities like excavator, shovel, concrete pumps, mobile as well as stationary, and every equipment was available, every facilities were available, but records were not available, computers were not available, and we had to do everything manually, and that was beauty of that time. So same way this I showed to, I'll close this also now, because if required we'll open later on. We can say I close this also, if required we'll open, and I this also, because it now I come back to point, and that's important one. Was talking about quality, we're talking about safety, we're talking about coordination, and coordination engineering on projects and engineers, and that is very important one. And we can say it's so important that we cannot avoid this. In fact, this is so important. If we avoid this, means we avoid ourselves, and that's the point we have to think of. Coordination engineering, we call it in Hindi also. I can speak now something about Hindi, though it's more than 25 minutes. I did not speak anything. मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं हिंदी में, सिर्फ लिखा है यहाँ पे कि हिंदी भी इसमें है. अब उन हिंदी दोस्तों के लिए जो हिंदी समझते हैं, बहुत से लोग हैं हमारे देश में, कहीं तो काफ़ी हैं, यूपी है, बिहार है, महाराष्ट्र है, बहुत सब जगह है. साउथ को थोड़ा, साउथ में भी काफ़ी हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं है. साउथ में भी, दक्षिण में भी बहुत लोग हैं जो हिंदी बोलते हैं. इधर अरब में बहुत लोग हैं जो हिंदी बोलते हैं. मेरे ख्याल से ऐसा अरब का कोई कंट्री नहीं है जहाँ हिंदी ना बोली जाए. गल्फ़ काउंसिल की कंट्री जितने भी हैं, वहाँ कितने भारत के लोग हैं, कितने पाकिस्तान के लोग हैं, कितने बांग्लादेशी हैं, ये सब, और बहुत से अरब के लोग मैंने देखा है कुछ हद तक हिंदी जानते हैं, या उर्दू कह सकते हैं आप. हिंदी और उर्दू दोनों एक ही है मेरे लिए, क्योंकि खाली बोलने में दोनों एक है, लेकिन लिखने में अलग है. बस फ़र्क इतना है, अंतर इतना है. तो मैं नाम ले रहा हूँ कि इन एरियाज़ के, कि हमें यहाँ ही बात करनी है गुणवत्ता की, क्वालिटी की. अरब में क्वालिटी हमने देखी है, हमारे देश में क्वालिटी हमने देखी है, और दूसरी कंट्रीज़ में भी क्वालिटी हमने देखी है. अब मैं इंग्लैंड और अमेरिका की बात नहीं करूँगा कि सिविल इंजीनियरिंग वहाँ इतना नहीं चलता है, ख़ासतौर से कंक्रीट इतना ज़्यादा नहीं चलता है, क्योंकि पैसा लगता है कंक्रीट में, और वो लोग दूसरे तरीके के मकानों में रहते हैं. मैं जो कंसंट्रेट कर रहा हूँ, मैं उसके लिए कर रहा हूँ, जैसे लीबिया है, इराक है, और आपका गल्फ़ कंट्रीज़ है, हमारा देश है, जहाँ कंक्रीट काफ़ी चलता है. इसके कारण भी बहुत हैं. अरब कंट्री जैसा एरिया जहाँ इतनी ह्यूमिडिटी है, इतना टेम्परेचर है, अगर वहाँ कंक्रीट चलती है तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. सोचिए आप जरा, 50 डिग्री टेम्परेचर, 45 डिग्री, 45 डिग्रीज, 50 डिग्रीज टेम्परेचर, 90% ह्यूमिडिटी टू 5% ह्यूमिडिटी. In Qatar, so 95% humidity. When I used to walk in evening hours, means I got completely sweated during evening hours. You can say up to 7-6 o'clock, you got completely humid. Means my all shirts and pants and underwear got wet while walking for about 45 minutes. 45 मिनट शाम को चलने के बाद मेरी ऐसी की तैसी हो जाती थी, पूरे कपड़े भीग जाते थे, शरीर भीग जाता था, इतनी ह्यूमिडिटी होती थी वहाँ. और सलाइन वाटर है साथ में, आप समुद्र है, कतार जैसा एरिया, पेनिनसुला इसको कहा जाता है, आइलैंड है पेनिनसुला, जहाँ 3 तरफ पानी है, एक तरफ दूसरी कंट्री है. तो ऐसे एरिया में, या दुबई हो गया, आप देख लीजिए, अबू धाबी के कुछ एरिए, अब वैसे यूएई पूरा कोस्ट लाइन बनता है, तो जहाँ भी कोस्टल एरिया है, आप कह सकते हैं ह्यूमिड है, बहुत ह्यूमिड है. और उसका जो कॉन्टिनेंटल अंदर का पार्ट है, जो सी से थोड़ा दूर है, वो एरिड है. वहाँ टेम्परेचर होता है, मॉइस्चर कम होती है. लेकिन कोस्टल एरिया में टेम्परेचर भी होता है, मॉइस्चर भी होती है. कोस्टल एरिया कैन से इट इन्वॉल्व्स बोथ. It's wet regions, you can say. You have high temperature, you have high humidity, varying from morning till evening from 5% to 95%, and temperature ranging from up to, up from 2, not 2 degrees actually. Maybe in Iraq it was even freezing, but in other parts you can say 5-10 degrees, sometimes in winter, to 50 degrees in summer. You can say 50 degrees and 50. I still remember my days in Baghdad. It used to be 50 degrees Celsius with very little humidity, because that's not coastal area. So what I'm saying is, weather, climate impacts properties of materials as it impacts our lives. We are also material, natural materials. Every human being is a material. We have some body, And we have some salt cannot be called that kind of metal which can be disintegrated, but body is composed of organic matter, particularly our bodies, organic and inorganic, but we have very you can say different type of constitutions because we are human being, but we don't care for composition of body because we can't control it. But what we control is our own work, and that is material use on construction, material use on designs. हम किसी वस्तु को, किसी मेटेरियल को कैसे डिज़ाइन में लगाएं, कैसे काम में लगाएं, वो एक क्वेश्चन उठता है. उसे क्वालिटी आप कह सकते हैं, कुछ भी कह सकते हैं, कोऑर्डिनेशन करके क्वालिटी देना. यही पर्पस है कोऑर्डिनेशन, जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं समन्वय. पता नहीं उर्दू में क्या कहते होंगे, तालमेल कह दीजिए, आप कुछ भी कह दीजिए. इस चीज़ का तालमेल बनता है, कंपेटिबिलिटी बनती है, क्वालिटी को ये कोऑर्डिनेशन बनती है. ये एक साथ चल सकते हैं, कहने का मतलब है जो भी हमारे उसमें मिलन के आदमी हैं, जो भी मिलन के रिश्ते हैं, किसी भी मटेरियल के, किसी कपड़े से, उससे मिलकर एक साथ चलने को हम क्वालिटी वर्क कह सकते हैं, और साथ में कोऑर्डिनेशन भी कह सकते हैं. क्योंकि अगर कोऑर्डिनेशन सही है हमारी, तो ये हिस्सा है क्वालिटी अरेंजमेंट का, क्वालिटी सिस्टम का, कि हम सबको मिला के साथ चल सकते हैं. एक काइंड ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन, एक काइंड ऑफ यूनिटी, एक काइंड ऑफ अफोर्डेबिलिटी, और यू कैन से सक्सेस रूट. So what I'm saying is, I'm talking about quality coordination, engineering and projects, and particularly in life. And I'm talking about life में जब जीवन की बात करता हूँ, सबके लिए करता हूँ. एक कंट्री के लिए नहीं, सबके लिए है, पूरा विश्व के लिए है. और यहाँ धर्म की बात नहीं है, काम की बात है. हम बात कर रहे हैं क्वालिटी वर्क की, कोऑर्डिनेशन वर्क की, गुणवत्ता के काम की, संचार की, कंक्रीट की, इंजीनियरिंग की, अभियंत्रिकी की, सिविल की, वास्तुविद्या कहते हैं हमारी भाषा में, और मोहिंदस कहते हैं इंजीनियर को अरबिक भाषा में. मोहिंदस मादानी, मोहिंदस मकानी, मोहिंदस कहरवाई, मोहिंदस मदानी जिसको कहते हैं सिविल इंजीनियर, और मोहिंदस मकानी जिसको कहते हैं मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, मोहिंदस कहरवाई इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर, इश्ता शहरी कंसल्टेंट. Likewise, I'm just trying to talk to them also, because this talk is not limited to my country, it's expanded to whole world. My friends are sitting everywhere who are interested in this subject. Might be they everyday refer to or not, I don't know, but I've not got very good feedback till now. Maybe they enjoy or they don't enjoy, I don't know, but I'm doing my job. I'm talking about safety, about quality, about coordination, about engineering, about everything this. So, as I said, for me, it's very duty to talk of quality. And I say Bharat Indian, I say particularly for this country I'm talking of, because in our country we have certain silence from everywhere as far as quality is concerned, quality and coordination is concerned, because I've added coordination to this talk also in quality file. So you can say I have two files now. One is quality title and one is coordination title. So both are same, but for purpose of differentiation and for my own convenience and your convenience, I say one is quality coordination, this exclusively coordination. And because quality, as far as we are concerned, I am very much serious about this issue, how to share my information, my knowledge, my own understanding as far as quality is related with my colleagues, my professional friends, and my non-professional public friends. Everybody should give importance to quality and coordination in whatever level you are, wherever you work, in whatever profession. Quality and coordination must work. Otherwise, in your own profession where there is no engineering, probably, maybe you also deal with quality and coordination, but maybe you don't realize that's point. So there are management principles and management people are there, analytical people are there, administrative people are there. They don't bother about all this, but they have to involve themselves. And if they come up to this requirement, you can change entire scenario. Coordination, activity, quality role are so important in our life. Maybe we deal with them, we handle them, but we cannot identify, pinpoint them. This is line where you have not to come to this end, or I have not to come to this end. And if you come to each other end, then that's called coordination, because we cooperate with each other, and you have to come. You have to come. Otherwise, it causes a setback to your work. That's the reason I'm saying quality and coordination. And we have to ask ourselves, so where do we stand? हमें अपने आप से पूछना होगा कि हम गुणवत्ता में और शांत तालमेल में, समन्वय में कहाँ खड़े हैं, खड़े भी हैं कि नहीं खड़े हैं, या हम फ्लैट गिर चुके हैं, दंडवत प्रणाम कर चुके हैं कि हमें बचाइए, पर वो बचाएंगे नहीं आपको वो नहीं बचाएंगे। आपको उनको प्रयोग करना होगा। वो आपको कहेंगे आप हमारा इस्तेमाल क्यों नहीं करते। इस्तेमाल तो आपको करना पड़ेगा, अपने आप तो कुछ नहीं होगा। वो तो निर्जीव हैं भी कि नहीं हैं। Whether they exist or they do not exist, you have to see these forms, or you can say world of quality and world of coordination are not seen physically, cannot be seen physically. हम गुणवत्ता की दुनिया को, समन्वय की दुनिया को, तालमेल की दुनिया को समझ तो सकते हैं, यूज में तो ला सकते हैं, लेकिन ऑटोमेट उनको कर दें, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। सॉफ्टवेयर बनने के बाद भी आफ्टर ऑल सॉफ्टवेयर किसे बनाया ही तो है, उसमें ऑटोमेशन की कोई बात नहीं है। जो काम आपका माइंड कर सकता है, जो काम आपकी सोच कर सकती है, जो काम आपकी आत्मा की सपोर्ट से हो सकता है, वो किसी गुणवत्ता को पाने के लिए, किसी तालमेल को चलाने के लिए कोई सॉफ्टवेयर तो नहीं करेगा। सॉफ्टवेयर तो आप खुद हैं। आई एम ए सॉफ्टवेयर, आई एम हार्डवेयर। Try to get this point in addition to compare hardware and compare software. I'm using my own minds. Computer can't use its minds, can use only what's fed into this, what's data is programmed into that. So you may say that we have to understand ourselves first. That quality of understanding has gone. When I was in school, we had to understand root of knowledge, root of work, root of subjects. I was talking last 2 days about education in our life with those people who had been in school education, in higher secondary times, and now who have been in secondary time. Higher school and secondary school and 11 years course or 12 years course. This made a difference to everybody's life. In school education, what do you learn? That impacts on your future, that impacts on your quality of working, your professional attainment, that impacts your concentration and coordination. It comes from childhood itself, and we have to see our childhood, how carefree we were or how careful we were. Everybody has different background. That is background differently, of course, but that inculcates in a kid how strong you ought to be in your professional world in future when you get your ambition. That part of education is very important because it changes your mindset. Whatever you learn at that stage cannot go out of your mind, though it is forgotten, but it's when refreshed, it becomes your permanent part. So we can say from beginning itself, quality and coordination are very significant disciplines, you can say, in life. A student life can tell you what sort of future it would have. A serious student, a non-serious student, a joking student, a annoying student, naughty student, or whatever you are. It's a generation of your mind and your soul. Who cares for teachers' direction all the time? Who cares for parents' direction all the time? In addition to teachers' directions and parents' directions, your own directions. Your own directions are more important than someone else. Other directions can help you, can support you. But your own direction shall take lead and lead you, and you shall be led. And you shall lead that also, both ways. Your direction you have to decide. You have to be led by your direction or by others' direction. And you have to analyze yourself, where do you reach, and by that time you are educated. You can say what I'm saying is education makes a difference. It's real education, it's not cramped one, it's not parrot sentence learning, or you can say we just learn some sentence, they appear in examination, we pass it. Passing is not important here. Important is how do you understand, what level you understood, what level you analyze and got into your mind. और दिस खाली से कहने से कि मैं पढ़ चुका हूँ, मेरे पास ये डिग्री है, ये सर्टिफिकेट है, उससे बात ये तो बनती है कि हाँ आपके पास है, आप पढ़े लिखे हैं, लेकिन आपने क्या पढ़ा है वो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं बताएगा। वो तो आपका कंडक्ट, आपका बिहेवियर, आप किस तरह से डील करते हैं वही बताएगा। और वही आपके काम में नज़र आता है। जितने भी बड़े आप पढ़े क्यों ना हो, इंजीनियर हो, डॉक्टर हो, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हो, वकील हो, जज हो, जो भी आप क्यों ना हो, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हो, आप कितना पढ़े हैं, कितना सीखे हैं, कितना ज्ञान रखते हैं, वो आपका कंडक्ट, आपकी परफॉर्मेंस बताएगी। और वास्तव में कहें तो इंजीनियरिंग वर्ल्ड में और मेडिकल वर्ल्ड में तो साफ साफ पता लग जाता है कि आदमी कितना पढ़ा है, कितना जानता है, क्योंकि उसके काम बताएंगे वो क्या किया है, कैसे किया है, कितना किया है। ऑल वर्क्स conducted, all acts done by that person who has been very highly educated shall be revealed according to standards of work and quality of delivered by that person, that we can relate to quality standards. How do you work? How do you think? How do you behave with people? What is your role? How far is successful role? Where do you stand? Are you serious or not serious? Are you mentally fit or not fit? Or your ambition or no ambition? Are you work result oriented or not? These all factors can be understood by only conduct, work, and dedication, devotion, commitment, determination, you can say, and whatever more parameters you want to add, you can add. I'm just trying to transmit what I know to you. It's very little, but it depends on, again I say, individuals' attempt, individuals' thinking. Every individual has different thinking. Education forces you to think. That's the purpose of education. Somebody asks me, what's the purpose of education? His job, it's the future, it's your choice, but major purpose of education is actually a software programmed into your mind. What did you learn? How did you learn? It was good or bad? It's pleasure or pleasure. But how much do you learn? Out of that, how much are you sure with? How much have you justified? That is very important point in education. Education does not mean you show your degrees and say, see, I am educated. That is okay, but your work performance shall establish your knowledge, your education as well. If you, and that's personal development also, you can say personal involvement in work. A high education or high degrees does not mean you are committed, you are devoted, you are dedicated. It doesn't mean that. That is seen, that is established, that is known from your working. What is your work? How good you perform it? How dedicated you are? And how strong-willed you are? That is known only from conduct, work and conduct. So we have to be very serious about that issue, and that is only reason I always talk of quality and coordination. And because this is not only work quality and work coordination, this applies to your individual role, individual life as a citizen, as a family member, as a worker in an industry or a manufacturing plant, or in having power to rule them as an owner. An owner also is as supposed to know honor or proprietor or even leader, or in politics you are, or in science field you are, or wherever you are, your integrity, sincerity, honesty, etc., are required for whatever purpose. And that is, we say every person is different. Every person is different. Some persons are good in quality, some do not care for quality, and some very seriously are very, you can say, contributed to quality work. It depends on you. All over the world are different. People are different. Work is different. Requirements is different. So when I say, when we talk in general, it applies to whole public, professionals, non-professionals. Everybody likes to work, likes to get, likes to see quality. Nobody says I want bad quality. Everybody wants quality. But wanting and getting are different. I also say I want everything. But I don't struggle for that. I compromise on what I get. And that compromise is again compromised and again compromised. And that sequence or chain of compromising goes on and on and on. My question again remains saying we have to investigate ourselves, we have to survey ourselves. Where do we stand in quality and coordination? Again, I say coordination cannot be separated out of quality because coordination itself has a quality just like quality itself has a quality. So it's very difficult subject to explain or to analyze or to measure. Its measurement is, variant. Its measurement is variant. In fact, to be true, quality is kind, a disease as well as treatment, a cure. Because those who believe in quality, those who commit to quality production, those people, those works, those activities, of course, have long standing. They shall have long standing in future. Maybe it is late that they have money, or they cannot have shortcut money, but they are permanent in their conduct. If not today, tomorrow they will get benefit. But those who are free from considering quality and coordination, they are free from future. They would not have any constructive future, progressive future, or you can say commanding future. So we can say personal behavior is related to group behavior, and personal behavior is related to good conduct or bad conduct. It is well important to note this. And all these we have to conduct, we have to care in life, we have to care in day-to-day work, we have to care everywhere in our procedural organizations or management, and we have to be very serious about that. And for that purpose, I'm just saying get up your quality, you get up coordination, don't get up, both get up. I want to raise yourself and I also raise myself. So that we get together means at one corner if I put quality, on other corner of triangle I put coordination, and at one point I put myself, so we can move together. And we can move together when we are three, all three are aware, are understanding to act. So we have a triangle and triangle three corner. I'm an angle, you are an angle, and coordination angle. Quality angle, coordination angle, and myself an angle. We have to move, we have to sleep, we have to stop sleep. इन आवर्स हमें सोने से जागना होगा. हम उस त्रिभुज पे खड़े हो जाते हैं जहाँ एक कोने में क्वालिटी है, एक कोने में कोऑर्डिनेशन है, और एक कोने में मैं स्वयं हूँ, और हम तीनों खड़े हैं, बैठे नहीं हैं, आगे बढ़ने के लिए खड़े हैं. सोना नहीं चाहते हम जागना चाहते हैं, हम आगे चलना चाहते हैं ताकि हम अपने गंतव्य पे पहुंच जाएं. वो गंतव्य क्या है वो हम नहीं जानते. हम प्लान तो कर सकते हैं, लेकिन क्या वो प्लान पूरा होता है नहीं होता है, वो हमारे कर्मों पे, हमारे काम निर्भर करता है. हमें जागना होगा. सोने से बाद हम सोते रहेंगे तो सब कुछ सो जाएगा. सोना तो सिर्फ विश्राम के लिए होता है, वो एंजॉय करने के लिए नहीं होता. ये बात भी समझनी चाहिए. Stop sleeping in my country, get up in my country, get up everywhere in the world, because we have to train ourselves, we have to repair our losses, and you be my friends so that we can talk frankly to each other, and that can be done only in friendship. Friendship is a part of quality operator. If I have good friend myself, I can think good in myself. And myself, I am a friend, you can say. I am friend of myself, or I am my own friend. It's something different when I say it's my friend. Means on myself I impose quality. On myself I impose something. And when I impose on myself means I can impose on myself punishment also. I can impose on myself success as well. And it's not a hypothetical consideration, it's a part of reality in life. How can I work without quality? I don't have any answer. If I question myself, how can I work without quality? Can I work without quality? Or why should I work without quality? Means these are all varying questions, but answer should be same. Quality, quality, quality. गुणवत्ता, गुणवत्ता, गुणवत्ता. कैसे हम प्राप्त करें? हमें देखना है, वक्त ने देखना है, सब कुछ ने देखना है, क्योंकि सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में तो नहीं। मैन्युफैक्चर से मटेरियल लेना है, इंडस्ट्रियल से कुछ और लेना है, टेक्नोलॉजी कहीं और से लेनी है, और शक्ति कहीं और से लेनी है। इन सब को मिला के हमें काम करना है। अगर चाय भी बनानी होती है तो बहुत कुछ करना होता है उसके लिए। यू नो दैट इवन इफ आई टू कुक टी, आई रिक्वायर गैस, और आई रिक्वायर some chula or some, you can say, device or equipment for cooking. And then I need material, water, milk, tea leaves, sugar or no sugar. We have to get that. And then we have to get containers like cup and plate. Means just for a cup of tea, we require so many resources. Those resources, if are available, we can make tea. Otherwise we cannot make. It is same thing in life. Life is tea. Life is water. Life is food. Life is sleeping and life is working. Every consideration is in life. But we never realize this. We have to study ourselves. Who produced ourselves? Why did that person produce ourselves? And why we are doing is right or not right? Am I slave to marking system, or I am slave to grading system, or I am slave to my understanding system? Yes, there is a measurement that you must have some educational level for purpose of work. That's fine. That can say measurement with what level you are. Nobody is 100% at school timing or university timing. Everybody has varying, somebody a half, some are 3/4, some maybe 9/10, it depends. But ultimately, we have to measure ourselves. Where do we stand? And that's the point we can say. I always say to quality, you cannot leave me. Quality, you cannot leave me, because you're my destiny. It's a very big issue, destiny. If quality is my destiny, I can say also quantity is my destiny. And that's to be sure means, of course, you can say if not the computer doesn't work, you have to work. And how do you work? It depends on your capacity, in your efficiency. Or you are used to that work or not used to that work. Are you happy while working, or you're not happy while working? It depends. It's very easy to say something, but it's very difficult to experience it. I'm not interested in what future would be. I have to interest for now. What I help, how do I help? What capacity I build myself in my life, in my study. I can face these challenges. And challenging facing is not emotional based. It's not emotionally based, emotion based. It is logical based. If we have logic, just like we see in safety world, risk controls, or in construction world, risk controls. These risk controls, or we can say risk suppression, are very significant points, may say. I may be well educated, I may have good marks, but I'm not used to such adverse circumstances, adverse situations. I cannot help myself. I become nervous when some knowledge is required, some logic is required. one turns to be nervous, and that stage fails your success. Fails success. So that's where I say at that time, my time control is quality 1, my work control is quality 1, my personal actions are controlled, that's also quality part, and there is no one else who cannot help me. Everyone in quality helps me, and I have to help myself and have to help others as well. And that's a kind of chain building for achieving quality, and that is not, you can say, in a standard one, whereas it depends upon person to person, individual to individual. That's the point we can say. My destiny is quality and coordination for work procedures. But other than there may be so many, you can say, so many destinies in each life. You cannot generalize that. हम किसी डेस्टिनी को मंजिल को पाने के लिए ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमारी मंजिल सिर्फ ये है. हम डिपेंड करता है कि हम मंजिल को पहले जाने तो सही, जाकर देखें तो सही. हो सकता है मंजिल हमें अच्छी ना लगे, हमें दूसरी मंजिल चुननी हो. It can be possible. I want to see what's my destiny. If I can understand, I visit my destiny at once, I can know how good or how bad it is. And if I don't like it, I can change my view. I can think of alternative, and that's where life moves on. Is there alternative to my life or not? That's my question. My answer to that is I have to define. That's why I say, as I say, quality, you cannot leave me because you are my destiny, and for this nation as well as for the whole world. Because ultimately we are part of the world. Whatever, irrespective of thing, we cannot come out of this situation. We cannot come out of this tag, I belong to this country. Yes, it's. As I say, others may not handle you. You remember, we can handle you. We are engineers, we know what is engineering, we know how to you can say procure materials, how to procure machines, how to procure human resources, how to use all them. That's where quality in itself, a procedure, must be scrutinized. Engineers can handle this case of scrutinization, for scrutiny, for investigation, for considering each and every possible. It will take time, but once it may take time, when you understand thoroughly, you become expert that after some time, okay, I've done this, it's my expertise, it's my this and that, I can say that. But that is, goes on incremental standards, that goes on incremental achievement in life. Incremental success and not whole success once. It takes time in life to have perfect level of performance, of understanding. We learn during performances a lot. कोई खेल नहीं है बच्चों का, लेकिन खेल भी है. बच्चों का तो नहीं, समझदारी का खेल है, माइंड का खेल है, दिमाग का खेल है, स्ट्रेंथ का खेल है, डेडिकेशन का खेल है, डिवोशन का खेल है. कई बार नींद नहीं आती है, ऐसा भी समय आ जाता है, लेकिन तब होता है जब आपको कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं होता है. हमें ये सब बात ध्यान रखनी चाहिए. अगर हम ध्यान नहीं रखेंगे तो गिर जाएंगे. वी हैव टू keep in mind all these points which relate to quality, relate to coordination. It's very important, and that's why I stress on that, particularly in engineering fault and civil engineering in quality, engineering in coordination, engineering. We have to be very specific in all these points because ultimately it is coordination that I'm talking of. And you can say parallel mechanism, and though it's nothing new for me, it may be new for those who do not understand meaning of coordination. It's very, very simple, but you have to invest time. You have to be with it. Be with it at every point. Professional work, non-professional work, public dealing, self-dealing. Here views originate, views tell us what I have to do, what should I do, what I am missing, and that coordination fills everything. Coordination actions fill our missings. That should be the purpose of coordination. It's not a formality to cook something for me and to drink, but how it is cooked, how it's presented matters. It's a very important part. Or you may say this is self-realization part. It can be. हमें अपने को क्या जानना है, अपने से क्या समझना है, इस बात पर भी तो अपनी स्टडी होनी चाहिए। या बस हम जीते जाएं, खाते जाएं, पीते जाएं, बाकी सब खत्म। सोचना पड़ता है, क्योंकि हम छोटे नहीं हैं, ग्रॉन अप हैं। हम दूसरे का भी काम कर सकते हैं, अपना भी काम कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, कोई रुकावट तो नहीं। वर्क है, वर्क तो करना पड़ेगा। हम चाहें या ना चाहें, करना तो पड़ेगा। कोई फोर्स तो नहीं कर सकता आपको वर्क करने के लिए, लेकिन फोर्स करे ना करे, हमें अपने को तो फोर्स करना है। हम यही सोच के बैठ जाएं कि कुछ जहाँ साल जीना है हम काम ना करें, हम बस पूजा पाठ करें, उससे भी बात नहीं बनती है। बात तो काम करने से बनती है। ये ठीक है, ये आपके फेथ है, आपका बिलीफ है, कुछ भी आप कीजिए, आप कुछ भी कीजिए उसमें, लेकिन जो टाइम दूसरा है, आपका अपना नहीं है, दोस्त हो सकता है, आपका कोई और हो जिसने आपको गिराना हो, वो आपके साथ आके मिसहैंडलिंग करेगा, कर सकता है। We expect that, and that's why coordination, engineering, I'm talking in a very specific way on projects and on the engineering projects and engineers, and we can say communication support for reliable coordination. Coordination support, I call it communication support for life, communication support for successful coordination, you can say communication support for doing some job, or even preliminary jobs, the pre-stage jobs are done at that point. Engineering coordination, support, communication for reliable coordination, and that's we say, and always we say there are so many points I drawn on this based on my knowledge, little knowledge you may say. I have to put this into strings on arms, and these are all network, but very slow in the sense that I don't see people very busy with such gadgets. Life is also a gadget, communication is also a gadget, you can say. Quality is also a gadget. I mean, we can just name them. Ultimately, we too are gadgets. How I am not gadget? I am expanding every day. How you are also doing same. Therefore, generalization can be done. Activities can be generalized. Generalization can be done uniformly. It depends on genetic. It depends on general requirement as well as on particular requirement on a piece of paper. It's important point we have to keep in mind. How do you mean? So I have written something of this. I read it for you so that we can try to understand. There are so many points. You can see file first. How many points are in that? I just blow it up so I can see it clear role here. At some time you can say very important. As you have expanded till now about the pages, it will keep every day up and up. At time comes then we can say this is quality of coordination file, and this is important one for projects. And you may say I've taken this now about 20 pages, you may say 21 or 21, whatever it is, 20, 21. We have to see on this how to move, how to act, how to do, and that's why I tried to include this talk recently, and that's about coordination. I'm just reading few lines, and we can then infer ourselves what does mean. कुछ ही बता देते हैं आपको, कुछ बातें कुछ कहने के लिए कि हमें समझना चाहिए और कोऑर्डिनेशन से क्या फ़ायदा हो सकता है, क्या नहीं हो सकता है. That's what they have to see. Coordination is not understood by many professionals and others in its right required spirit. Yes, we do not understand that, that's right. We want to understand, that's also right. We do not understand just because of article meaning of this term, coordination. Article meaning is different. We have to learn what's happening around. Was it really need of ours? You have to do coordination, or you have to use it for half an hour. For this as well as one natural one. So what I say, coordination is not twisted by many professionals and non-professionals in its right required spirit. That's only a reason I'm trying to share at least my viewpoint to you, and if that viewpoint helps improve relations, relative relations, it can help a lot. Also, it is factual that without adequate and efficient coordination, you can say efficient coordination, more than that. So let's see 180. So I think it works. You may say that fact remains that without yes, it's a little clear. Fact remains that without adequate and efficient coordination in professional engineering, fact remains that without adequate without conducting adequate and efficient coordination in professional engineering or other parts of world life, we can say works cannot be successfully accomplished. If you want to accomplish some work, coordination must be there. If it's not just a statement of one discipline, if every part is to be manufactured, maybe it looks it's done very easily, but always there is a requirement, there is a world, and people keep on busy, scientists keep on busy, engineers keep on busy, and by combination of results of every business, you can say that this is what we required. Means it goes into many forms, and then at final we add, all right, this form is acceptable. This is same as we observed few hours back in morning, this item was pending. So fact remains that without adequate and efficient coordination in professional engineering, works cannot be successfully accomplished or carried out. And if you can claim, shall be right to admit that coordination failure leads to engineering design and construction failure. It's also very prominent, very, you can say, pragmatic approach we have to understand. It's not intentional error we caused this act and we destroyed this. It's not going to work. It's not going to work like that. We have to think clearly. We have to provide information clearly. And that's why I say if coordination does not exist, if resources do not help us, we simply say, it's set. Why to worry about? We are with you. Don't worry. If they are with me, it's fine. I can claim, shall be right to admit, coordination failure leads to engineering designs and construction failure is very easy. If you don't coordinate properly, if you don't understand, if you don't want to explain, if you want to know it, how can we do it? Lack of information, lack of doing, lack of concentration, lack of seriousness. Even combination of all these cannot be brought to a level of production finally. And if you can go further, you have to see more points in that, of course, somewhere small, somewhere big. And so for many years, the issue of coordination remains very delicate. Such engineers try to avoid involving in good coordination, complexity. Coordination and complexity. When coordination itself converts to complexity, what we have to do? Just expect someone else should give us final working drawings for work execution. That's what we think so. Why should I worry about this? My job is on site, I'm doing on site. Let details come, let drawings come, I'll comply with. That is where people say, it's difficult, how it's difficult study. I don't know what difficulty is here, believe me. Or maybe I experienced that when I forgot now. So that's why for many engineers, issue of coordination remains very, very delicate. And such engineers involved in that try to avoid involving in good coordination work, good coordination complexity, and just expect someone else should give final working touch, final working drawings for work execution. I have experienced that engineers from around whole world scenario, majority such professionals or engineers population not have any interest in working and on coordination activities due to essential requirement on concentrating or focusing constantly on engineering and are really trustworthy. I'm not trying to discuss someone. I'm just trying to know how much do you know about analysis? What do you know about that? Or you don't want to think about that. That can also be an answer. I don't want to think. I'm okay, fine as it is. But otherwise, in engineering construction, you are there with them. Is there a good time? Is there a good time? We are there with them, right? In fact, you experience the engineers from our world scenario. Majority of them don't have any interest in working on coordination activities. They run away, they skip from that. Due to, we can say, essential requirement on concentrating or focusing constantly on engineering and in-depth technical issues early. Can say problems are not counted in numbers, but in considering gravity of situation, complexity, and stock decision making related to whatever work items are involved. Coordination, can say by definition is, you can say for sure necessary to be understood, to be realized, to be kept in mind. That requirement to move, may say, skid, they are suffer. Its definition for sure necessary to have an understanding or be understood for its real meaning, so that no mix-up results, nothing mixes up. And mixing means something deterred, something spoiled, or of course we can say it changes shape, it changes some consideration. I may say that's point we're talking about. Mixing means a state of confusion in work, and state of confusion meaning indicates that right activity related to work cannot be carried out at right time. You have to find right time for that. It's not because circumstances force me I do it. It won't work. It won't work like that. Take my point, it won't work. Why? There are some points that we can say it has to be understood well. That's all I can say. If you don't means we miss something. It means that in construction world it is time with values, and particular you can say in particular if I in construction world, in particularly structural and buildings, constructions, no limitation of number of drawings and what details we provide. Even for a small building or small structure, categories of drawings and details remain same as if it could be of major building. It depends on designing professionals. It depends on designing professional about how to apply drawings and detailing so that construction personnel should not refer back all times and every time for either in confirmation or clarification of various issues involved. Means, of course, that's true, we agree that we do not know what to do, but when you are experienced one, you can list out yourself without referring to anything. If you have done job, when you done job yourself, small, big, you got important knowledge about how item behaves, how conducts. You have to observe that. Plainly speaking. We can say अपने ड्राइंग्स कितनी ड्राइंग बननी है, कितनी डिटेल बननी है, ये सब जानना जरूरी है. उसके बिना हम कैसे आगे चलेंगे? एक तरह से वर्क है वो. हम बता दें कि हम लिस्ट बना के बैठ जाना चाहिए. हम कैसे देना चाहते हैं इसके प्लान को, कैसे इसके एलिवेशंस को देखना चाहते हैं, कैसे इसके दूसरे कंस्ट्रक्शन के काम जिनके ऊपर ये मशीनें बैठ ली हैं, हम कैसे एफिशिएंटली निकालना है. सब कुछ बुक से तो नहीं मिलेगा, सब कुछ कोर्स से नहीं मिलेगा, हमको समझना होगा, कुछ तो समझना होगा. Coordination, therefore, I can say, coordination can therefore be defined in a way that all branches of engineering and all disciplines involved in ongoing activity must be clearly described and detailed in so that no information is left out that could hold progress on activity or part of whatever activity. I say information should be available so that when you did not have this information, you thought that it's very difficult to solve this problem of quality, actions and interaction, but it's not essential. It's again I'm saying it's your own view. Your own view, how do you value it? How do you want to perform on this? What value this provides at first time, then how much value you can save second time. We can say just one information held means system stops performing. If one small information is held or withheld, not succeeded or allowed to succeed, it shall for sure part systems in one way or other way. Parting system. Just reading is not enough. Understanding is enough. I say, if even one small information is held without having any adequate details, it's not formally confirmed, activity can stop, or it shall be carried out based on either correct or incorrect knowledge possessed by site team, which work would be considered in contravention of what designing team contemplated, consequently certainly leading to formal errors. छोटी से छोटी भी जो हमें नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, यदि वो नहीं है और हम फिर भी चलते जाते हैं और काम गलत कर देते हैं, इम्प्योरिटी नहीं कहलाएगी। बेशक आप बड़े हो चुके हैं, आप फैमिली बना रहे होंगे, लेकिन भगवान सबको देखता है। आप खुश हो जाएंगे कि हमने बाहर फेंक दिया कूड़ा, लेकिन कूड़ा तो बाहर नहीं जाएगा, बाहर तो आपको जाना पड़ेगा। ये बात हम समझते क्यों नहीं, क्यों टाइट होते नहीं? That's very important point. If even one small information is held without adequate details, is not formally confirmed, activity can stop. It shall be carried out based on either correct or incorrect knowledge possessed by site team, which work could be considered in contravention of what design team contemplated. You have to keep this in mind always. It's also a fact that no subject or no branch of coordination engineering is available for imparting professional education at any other diploma or degree level, and even if considered up to doctorate level. Absence of inclusion of this very significant subject within engineering program explicitly indicates and evidences that education professionals do not possess or understand value of engineering coordination discipline. It should be very clear till now. It was not made clear. We have to keep these points in mind. There are so many points likewise. And so can say absence of inclusion of, you can say, product it. So what you say? Absence of inclusion of this very terminology, very significant subject within engineering program. Some explicitly below it. Right? So we have to explore every possibility for our actions, for our works, or else we cannot do anything. So what I say, absence of inclusion of this very significant subject within the engineering program explicitly indicates and evidences that education professionals do not understand, unfortunately, value of engineering coordination discipline. I go point by point just to explain this. Moreover, it cannot be called educationist, you can say. educationist's fault, it's fault of something else. Coordination, related issues or problems for that. It cannot be imposed on educationist requirement knowledge, because educationist in often status does not remain active in field of engineering professionals or professions, and therefore not subject to attaining practical field professional experience. Coordination engineering is an unlimited world which can expand its vistas to unlimited coverage, involving many disciplines in one branch of engineering, and also importing various branches of engineering depending on what class of works are affected. We have also seen an era of coordination activities when there used to be no electronics related technologies, or we now call it information technology, but wherein large voluminous work were carried out on civil, electrical, mechanical, and architectural engineering coordination. Even in that era, work of coordination was very much time consuming due to fact that even drawings used to be manually drafted or drawn. This is where points are very important. You may say even era works of coordination in this era, I can say, works very much time consuming due to fact that even drawings used to be manually drafted or drawn. Coordination engineering or engineer would have been appointed had professional been experienced in considering size, site, and professional, having just you can say one engineering discipline knowledge could not be successful for efficient working on site and progress. Consequently, either marred or errors. You can say marred or errors caused. Such unhelpful situations forced professionals, engineers to work long hours, to have firm grip of design details, and correlated one discipline with all other disciplines. All the disciplines are one by one, of course, consuming considerable work allotted time, and that we have to analyze and understand. And understanding of coordination, definition, and respective description makes certain difference on works. We may not call it teamwork centrally, because coordination cannot be done effectively by team, but by certainly perfect getting through all details. I say what I say, you may say, and of course Members of project team are required to extend engineering support to engineering coordinator, without whose input no coordination activity worldwide move. Whereas engineering professional involved on every coordination has to take personal involvement on every provided information for purpose of collaborative ratification based on total scrutiny as well as investigation. We can say that we can say the coordination is never ending activity. This is not necessary to be said, it is unknown or it is known, you decide yourself. Coordination is a never ending activity which therefore cannot be considered time fixed. Depends on design mandate and scope requirement along with other contact documents such as engineering design specifications and acquired input from spatial materials producing manufacturers such as documented instructions and material data sheet. Data studies. Complexity of technicalities is very important point. You can say, I'm wearing my shoes, I'm feeling very cold, I don't know why. It happens 5 degrees or 6 degrees temperature. It's really astonishing because of I'm feeling eyes certain pain also because of this chilling effect. So I just heat up my legs being shoes now. I will wear chappals, so I'm trying to wear shoes at least to heat up my soul. Oh, sorry gentlemen, just a minute, let me clear it. I'm feeling cold. Early morning sitting is difficult. It's very difficult to sit early morning, but I feel pleased also. I'm trying to do something for friends, or you may say for humanity. Ultimately, humanity is involved in work, and this is not personal approach, because works are works, and there is no relaxation given. No relaxation can be given to that. Works are works. Just my blanket is also not yielding what it should. It's also telling me it's very cold, and I think, well, that's what to do. So let's continue with this. Here I'm seeing is fully charged, of course, and what says? So let me say again, complexity of technicalities and structure of resources have certainly created additional complexities. What it says is already there are technicalities. This question of structural resources, and of course, additional complexities are when many disciplines and branches of engineering work together, forcing attention from coordinating professional to look into all requirements, contract related and industry related, as well as codes mandate related. So we can plainly say, if we cannot 100% be sure, complexities of technicalities and structure of resources have certainly created additional complexities. With many disciplines or branches of engineering work together, forcing attention from coordinating professional to look into all requirements, contract related and industry related as well as codes mandate related. एक इंफॉर्मेशन है, दूसरी आती है, एक इंफॉर्मेशन